You've seen it, right? You're driving down the street and you spot it. The giant spoiler, the aggressive vents, that super low profile. It looks like it just rolled off a racetrack. But what if I told you that under the hood, it's got the soul of a regular old commuter car? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 famous cars that are all show and no-go. The ones that promise crazy speed with their looks, but just can't back it up on the asphalt. So let me ask you something. If you saw a lineup of cars, could you spot the fake speedster? It's actually a lot tougher than you might think. Car companies have gotten really, really good at this game of illusion. They use all these visual tricks to make you believe a car is a performance beast when the engine, well, it just isn't. Let's break down how they do it. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It's basically a psychological trick. Our brains are just wired to see those aggressive design cues. You know, the big spoilers, wide tires, sharp angles, and immediately think raw power and speed. It's a fantastic marketing tool, but as we're about to find out, it's often hiding a much, much slower reality.
Okay, let's get into the lineup. We've pinpointed 7 of the most well-known offenders in the car world. These are the cars that write a performance check with their styling that their engines just can't cash. So let's start the countdown.
Kicking off our list is a true legend of deception, the Pontiac Fiero. I mean, look at it. With its mid-engine layout and that classic wedge shape, it looked like a budget Ferrari. It was this masterpiece of styling that had everybody thinking it was a legit sports car. And this slide really captures the whole Fiero experience perfectly. On the street, yeah, it turned heads. It looked the part, for sure. But the reality was what was under the hood. The base model had the infamous Iron Duke, a little 4-cylinder engine that put out a measly 92 horsepower. Its 0 to 60 time was over 11 seconds. To put that in perspective, a modern minivan would leave it in the dust. All right, coming in hot at number 6 is an actual movie star, the DeLorean DMC-12. Of course, with those gull-wing doors and the brushed stainless steel body, it looks like it was literally from the future. It's gotta be one of the most iconic car designs of all time. And this quote is so on point. I mean, thanks to Back to the Future, we all expected this car to hit 88 miles per hour and, travel through time. That low, wide stance and the whole futuristic vibe just screamed performance. It was the ultimate poster car. But the reality was, not so futuristic. It was powered by this Peugeot Renault Volvo V6 engine that only made about 130 horsepower, and that meant a pretty sluggish 0 to 60 time of over 10 seconds. It was basically a high-concept supercar body wrapped around the engine of a European family sedan.
So our third car, coming in at number 5, is the Hyundai Tiburon. The second generation especially had these really aggressive curves and styling that a lot of people felt was, let's say, heavily inspired by high-end Italian sports cars. It definitely looked the part.
Let's just walk through the experience, right? First, you see it. That wide body, those swept-back headlights, the low profile, and you get excited. Your heart starts pumping a little bit. Then you get behind the wheel, you press that pedal to the floor, and the engine makes some noise, but the acceleration is just lukewarm. All that excitement just kind of fades away. At number 4, we've got a car that really blew up thanks to the movies, the 3rd generation Mitsubishi Eclipse. Because it was a star in the Fast and Furious franchise, this car became totally synonymous with tuner culture and street racing. And this just illustrates the huge disconnect perfectly. People saw this car on the big screen and expected it to be an absolute rocket. But the reality, at least for the most common non-turbo 4-cylinder models, was just basic economy car performance. We're talking a 0 to 60 time of almost 9 seconds. So those wild body kits and spoilers, they were pretty much just decorations on a standard coupe. Okay, our number 3 pick might be one of the biggest heartbreakers in recent car history, the Plymouth Prowler. It was a factory-built hot rod, right? A stunning piece of retro design that looked like it would just tear up a drag strip. And that quote says everything. The Prowler is a total work of art when it's just sitting still. But under that long, beautiful hood wasn't some fire-breathing V8. Nope, it was a 3.5-liter V6 pulled from Chrysler's family sedans. It wasn't exactly slow, but for a car that looked that radical, its performance was a major letdown. All right, let's look at number 2. This is the 7th generation Toyota Celica. Now, to be fair, the high-end GTS model with its high-revving Yamaha-tuned engine, that thing was genuinely quick and a lot of fun. The problem was the base model.
And this is a classic case of what you might call badge engineering. Toyota gave the much slower base GT model the exact same razor-sharp aggressive look as its faster sibling. You could even get appearance packages with body kits and spoilers to make it look identical to the top-tier model, just without any of the performance to back it up. And you know, the numbers don't lie. While the GTS was a really zippy little sports coupe, the base model was stuck with a simple economy engine that made it painfully, undeniably average. The styling wrote a check the engine just couldn't cash. And that brings us to our number one deceiver, the car that might just be the ultimate pretender, the Ford Probe. When this thing came out, its futuristic, sleek design made a lot of people assume it was the next generation rear-wheel drive Mustang. It looked fast, it looked modern, and it looked powerful. And this right here is the Probe story in a nutshell. It was a beautiful design for its time, no doubt, and it won plenty of praise for its looks. But it was a front-wheel drive coupe based on a Mazda platform. It lost the drag race before it even started, not just on the spec sheet, but in the hearts of car fans who were expecting a muscle car and got a sporty economy car instead. So, after running through these 7 automotive imposters, we're left with one big question. What's the main takeaway from all this? What really separates the fakers from the real deal? The lesson here is pretty clear. Styling does not equal speed. We've seen it 7 times now. True performance isn't born from spoilers and body kits, it's born from good engineering. It's the engine, the transmission, the chassis. That's what defines a car's real soul. So the next time you see a car that looks impossibly fast, remember to look beyond the flashy exterior. So that's our list of the 7 biggest offenders. But of course, the automotive world is huge, and we've only just scratched the surface. So now I want to turn it over to you. So what do you think? Did we miss any major culprits here? What's a car that you see all the time that looks like a total speed demon, but is actually just a sheep in wolf's clothing? Let us know.